Hey everybody, Kellen Cash here, and I am here just having a good old time. And I wanted to share something, some funny stories, whatnot, and some good advice. Of one, do not believe in the stereotypes. When I type that in here on Google, just don't believe the stereotypes or stereotypes. I see so many things that pop up, little memes that pop up. And so let me jump into the story. A friend of mine called and she was telling me how she was in a group session. She's in mental health and she's up there, big shot, right? And she was saying how this older black guy who had his substance abuse issues or whatnot, he told her, looked at her in the meeting and said, "You don't have a lick of street in you, not a lick." And she, being of the Caribbean descent, she wanted to blush if she could, but she can't, right? And she was like, "I don't have a lick." And everyone who knows her knows she doesn't have a lick of street in her. But he was just shocked that this black person did not have a lick of street in him. And so one of her coworkers actually said something. It was like, no, she understands because she talks to me, and my friend is like, "I don't even understand half of the things you say to me," is what she's thinking, because she is Caribbean, born there and everything, but growing up, she never knew she was poor. And so she was like, "I didn't know that till later." And she was like, "I used to get free lunch and brag at school to teachers and parents that, I can go get both lunches, lunch one and lunch two, and that, how hard her parents worked, how they worked 3 jobs." I mean, she never knew she was broke. She really thought living in the affluent neighborhood that she lives in, that they were rich. And it was just, funny to look back and tell someone, I can eat for free, which kids don't know. I'm eating for free for whichever lunch I want to go to. And my parents work 3 jobs, but that they're not poor. And their parents had like a ton of kids, like 7 kids, right? So you can't believe the stereotypes, because that same person who might be getting free lunch right now, their parents may be making a ton of money to be able to keep things up. Now, we know in America, a ton of money, you got to keep it up, especially if you have more than 2 kids. It's expensive. Even in, the 80s, hey, people had to do what they had to do. And we know a lot of folks don't always claim all their income. I'm not saying her parents are doing that. Reason why I'm protecting her identity too. But I thought that was funny, because I could just see someone at school, at one of my schools or one of my kids' schools, and saying, "Hey, my parents have this, they have that, they got 3 jobs, each of them, and, I get free lunch because I'm special." So you can't believe the stereotypes, because you can't fall into the stereotypes, because she could easily try to put on her best, jive impression. But I know this person. It would have been terrible. Like, that's not her. It's Valley Girl all the way. And that's just who she is, not trying to put on airs. And a lot of folks try to, build up to something that they're not. There's a lot of suburbanites, trying to play hick, or trying to play urban, hip hop, whatnot, which you be who you want to be, but just let that be the real you. We can go through some of these stereotypes. This one stands out. Why don't men find black women attractive anymore? I guess people really believe with stereotypes. I don't even think that one's true, because there's plenty of men of all colors who have black women. You see them every day, especially here in Seattle, especially saw it in Africa, California. If you're single, it might be something more about you. It might be about timing, might be something you're doing. It might just be the time for you to focus on you and build up your business or career. But that was funny. What I would say to this stereotype, anybody who feels like men don't find them attractive, I actually had this on my personal note. best business books for entrepreneurs. And you should go through some of these books, all these books. The Lean Startup, great book. The 4-Hour Work Week, great book. Think and Grow Rich. Time to time, I'll send this to people that I consider to be in my circle. And a lot of times I'll get people say, oh, I read that book, or I heard that book, or I have that book. But what they haven't done, they haven't applied that book. And it shows in their lifestyle, no matter how much money you're making. There's a Power of Broke. That was a great one, but then read Crushing It. And if you read all those books and you're still working like a Hebrew slave and you don't have a team together of anything, you don't have a budget together for anything, you're not applying. You can read a lot of things. A lot of people read the Bible, but they don't apply the Bible, the principles. And they wonder why does my life look a mess? You got to apply what you read if it connects with you in the spirit. So all these books are good. So if you have a stereotype, if there's a stereotype about you out there, and you think that, it's whether it's color, it's race, sex, religion, whatever, it is, start reading some books and break that stereotype. You can really learn and master people just on body language alone. Like we say so often in the Pacific Northwest, so many people have they cannot engage in what I call a civilized conversation. I talked to a one lady in passing, young chick, had my my little one with me, and she almost ran into us, but I make a joke out of it, no problem. And then I thought we had started to talk, and she started walking, and I said, oh, I know you're from Seattle, because you guys are the only people to almost bump into somebody, talk to the person while walking away. You don't know how to just engage in a conversation. And she actually laughed because she knew I wasn't lying. It's not a lie. It's not everybody, but it's just a lot of people here rather be high, vaped up, high, and just be on their own. Now, if you're high and you can talk, then I'm not talking about you. So no need to, say, hey, I'm high and I can talk. I'm talking about the folks who can't talk in Seattle, or care more about a dog, an animal, than they do people. Like, those are their babies. I'll tell you what, dog die versus person dying, two different things, two different impacts in, the lives. But don't believe the stereotypes. Don't think if you've been through some hardships, whatnot, you can't bounce back. But what you need to do is get around a good circle, get around a good team. That could cost you a little money, being around a good circle. It's not going to where you used to go. It's going to business functions. It's going to church revivals. It's going to personal retreats, and really going out and trying to seek something different, because you have to do something different if you're not happy with the life that you're living, whatnot, but don't believe the stereotypes. Don't think that you have to be a certain way or people will just expect you to be that way. Some people live their whole life living some facade. You don't have to do that. You can be who you want to be. You can go from activist to singer if you want, or singer to activist. The days of, oh, you can't do that anymore are over with. Don't believe the old way of thinking that you have to be stuck in one place. And, personally, business-wise, that's what we do at cprfirm.com. We get people on the right track. We let people know, hey, you got a book you want to write. Let's put it out. Let's do something with it. And this is how we're going to do it. We've done it before, and we'll make it happen. Just don't get caught up in believing that life has to be one certain way. I really like the 4-Hour Work Week book, and I think it's a read that we should always read, ever so often, because you can get caught up in thinking, people would think I was crazy to live the life that I'm living now. They're like, oh, you can't do that, and business can't be run like that. No, your business maybe can't be run like that because you put limitations on yourself, but we're totally outside the box here. It's just a different way of thinking. And a lot of the people who try to put you in the box, they don't have the lives that you want to live. A lot of them, it's not just a money thing. It's a time thing. it's a fact that they don't have enough time to just have some personal time with family and friends, and that everything is about their business. I've told friends, you're going to kill yourself off of business, and would it be worth it? You know, kids can't eat just a lifetime of business. They need to see you. They need you to have that impact and have enough energy. So don't believe the stereotypes. Just a little quick note. And, make sure people, when you email me, please, a lot of emails in the day, just on a business level. So when I get these on the podcast and whatnot, and you have your questions, hey, I'll bring some of you on if you're interested, of telling your personal experience in, 5 minutes or less, and give you some one-on-one, what could happen, what could help you with, you creating a new habit. But just holler at me, cprfirm.com. cprfirm.as.me if you need personal consulting. I've been getting some good requests on that. And if you just want to talk, clarity.fm/Kellen Cash is the place to do it at. You guys be blessed, take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.